Hello, this is Gradye Parsons. I'm the Stated Clerk of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church, and this is the third podcast in a series on the role of the elder in the Presbyterian Church. Again, today I'm referring to the Book of Order in section G60304, and today I want to talk about the line that refers to elders' gifts and responsibilities when it comes to worship. And the book says, they, meaning elders, should cultivate their ability to teach the Bible and may be authorized to supply places which are without the regular ministry of the Word and Sacrament. Now, when I've done elder training around the country, I almost always ask the question, did your nominating committee mention to you anything about being able to teach the Bible or lead in worship? And almost universally, I hear the word no. In fact, I asked this question one time to a young woman, and she said the only thing her nominating committee asked her was would she be willing to take up the collection each Sunday and make sure the front door was locked at the end of worship. That's hardly the total compass of what it means to be an elder. But elders participating and leading in worship is an important part of their ministry as individuals and collectively as they witness to the good news of Jesus Christ. My first church was in Cott County, Tennessee. In Cott County, Tennessee is where Christy, Catherine Marshall's grandmother, and her husband had their ministry. You may remember the TV show from a couple of decades ago. They established some chapels up in the mountains, and eventually, as time went on, the town church, such as it was, became responsible for the chapels. So one time when I was a very young and very inexperienced minister, I was visiting with one of the older elders, and I asked him, how did the minister of the town church take care of those three chapels? He looked at me like I was the dumbest thing in the world, which was probably accurate, and said he didn't do it, we did. And they fully understood as elders that they had the ability and were responsible for leading worship in these chapels. Leading worship in front of other people is not just a matter of someone's ego being up front, but it's a real matter of witnessing that the people that should be talking about the gospel are not just people that are paid to talk about the gospel, but really it's all of us. And elders have a way of witnessing this. When you go to church each Sunday and you sit next to Mr. Brown or Ms. Jones, and they share a hymnal with you, and then the next Sunday they're in front, either reading the passage of Scripture or doing some other part of the worship, it gives you some sense that I too could be articulating my faith. So the role of elders in worship is not just to be cultivating their ability, but it's also cultivating the witness of people in the pews being able to lead worship, being able to articulate their faith, being able to speak about the good news that's happened to them. So the role of elders is important. In fact, it's so important that I really don't care how big a church you have and how many wonderful preachers you have on staff. I really think there should be an elder that should be part of the worship service every week, playing some part, showing this real equality that we have between ministers and elders in our system. But again, witnessing to the fact that it's not just the paid people that are called to talk about their faith, but we're all called to talk about our faith and let elders be examples of how that's done. So again, I want to encourage you, if you are called to be an elder or if you're on a nominating committee talking to elders, that you will remember this passage very carefully. They're not just to sit in a boardroom, they're not just to talk about budgets, but they're to be witnesses, and part of that witness comes from them leading and acting in the front as part of worship. Thank you.